Hi, I'm Dave Miranda, General Counsel and past President of the New York State Bar Association. Welcome to Miranda Warnings. You have the right to remain listening. On this episode of Miranda Warnings, we welcome the New York State Bar Association's 127th President, Domenick Napoletano. He's a sole practitioner from Brooklyn, New York, and a first-generation son of Italian immigrants. He was the first person in his family to graduate from high school, college, and law school, and he attended Hofstra University Law School.
When I graduated in 1980 from Hofstra Law School, a few friends at that time were joining various bar associations. And so the theory was, you join your local bar association, and then from there, see what other bar associations offer, and either you join or you don't. So I joined the Brooklyn Bar Association. I also joined the Colombian Lawyers Association of Brooklyn as an Italian American. I got contacted by a past president of that association. He said, I heard that you just became a lawyer and I'd like to meet you. And the next thing is, I'm joining that association. And then NYSBA, sort of became attractive because of the scope of the work that they do. These other associations that I just mentioned, were limited, in the type of work that they did. So I found, NYSBA to be much more expansive, much more interesting in terms of things that were being handled back at that time. And so I said, let me join. And I got a certificate in the mail, and I framed it, and it's on my wall. So it was a good thing. You get people here, lawyers here, that have a vast amount of experience, and they're so dedicated, to the practice of law. That's not to say that other bar associations don't attract the same quality of individuals, just that I found that the caliber of those that are here, far exceeds the others that I've been involved with.
Prior to being elected president-elect in 2023, Domenick served as treasurer for the association, and prior to that, he chaired the association's general practice section. He's worked on many issues, including guidelines for lawyers during the pandemic and the impact of facial recognition. In outlining his priorities for his presidential term, Domenick is focused on getting back to our roots as an organization committed to helping lawyers in their practice.
First and foremost, I want to define what we're not. We're not a political organization. We're not a social service organization. And what we are is we're an association of lawyers. So my concentration, as best I cannot be distracted from other things that will pop up, which I know they will, but if and when they do, my goal is not to devote so much time to those things that will distract from what I truly want to do. And what I truly want to do is to help the lawyer, myself and my colleagues, especially in small and medium-sized firms, navigate the practice of law in this state.
Some issues at the forefront of Domenick's priorities include expanding broadband access throughout New York State and continuing to push for reforms to the CPLR.
A few years ago, Governor Hochul reported that she is set aside, I think it was $80 million to improve the bandwidth in upstate counties. So far, it hasn't happened. I've spoken to a lot of attorneys in the upstate region, and they complain that they can't do virtual appearances because some of the judges want them to actually travel from point A to point B. Now, for them, point A and point B isn't around the corner. Point A and point B is several miles away. And the time that it takes to get from A to B is just not worth the time and the effort. So I would like to see, what we can do to get that bandwidth money out there, get it improved, so that those lawyers in upstate regions can practice virtually and not practice, or not have to be called in to practice in person. I've spoken to Judge Kelly about this because he is the upstate administrative judge. And he's certainly on board with it, but we need to get that in place. The other thing that I don't want to do is because I don't feel the need to create task forces or working groups or whatever other, again, adjective that we want to attach to those things, because within the sections, whether it's one section or a combination of sections together and committees, that type of work can be done there. And so the type of work that I'm looking at is to revamp the CPLR committee, or rather the CPLR, and do that with the CPLR committee, and perhaps even with groups like trial lawyers, get them together and work on that. One of the other projects that I've spoken to the chairs of various committees and sections are to do an improvement of the Article 81 process. Many of the judges, especially in the city, have approached me already concerning Article 81. They say it's an abomination the way it works. It doesn't work right now. So they want it fixed. I think we would like to see it fixed. So I'll speak to the Elder Law Committee and work on that. And those types of projects are really what my concentration is going to be. We are going to go back to what our core values are, what our mission was from when this association was created now almost 150 years ago. That we are an association of lawyers, that we are here to help and protect the lawyer, first and foremost. And I'm not going to be distracted, from that mission. That's where I want to go. I want to go back to the roots, because I think that's the most important place to be.
Whether you are a newly admitted or longtime practicing attorney, President Napoletano says there's a place for you at the New York State Bar Association to learn and grow in your career.
Look, when I started, I was lucky to have met senior attorneys who took me under their wing and guided me along the way. I think that every newly minted attorney should have a mentor. Sometimes young lawyers feel that they don't need to have someone tell them what to do. They feel offended. They shouldn't, because no one is looking to take away from them, but we're looking to assist them. And that type of assistance, I think, should be welcomed. I mean, I've been doing this now, I've been practicing for 43 years. I still continue to learn every day. I still continue to call my colleagues, either senior and sometimes junior than myself, on how to do things. For example, when the commercial division rules were first put in place, and this whole business about hyperlinks, I knew nothing about hyperlinks. I didn't even know how to even begin to do a hyperlink. And so I called a friend who's much younger than me, but because he's much younger than me, he knows about hyperlinks. And so, like I said, we're always learning.
President Napoletano is looking forward to hearing from members directly about their needs in their practice.
I want as much input from everyone that has an issue, whether it be, being before a judge, or the process of how to get from, one point to the other. I want people to tell me what it is that they are feeling on a daily basis.
This has been a Miranda Warnings podcast. You have the right to remain listening.